Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Now listen, Gervonta Davis has a lot going on right now. But let me tell you this, right? Gervonta Davis, his problems, man, Gervonta Davis has huge problems. And it has nothing to do with this domestic violence situation he's currently dealing with. Like last week I did a video after I watched his coach, Calvin Ford, right? Calvin Ford was talking, and he was talking about Gervonta Davis and how he's getting a second opportunity at life in his career. He talked about how after Floyd went through what he went through, going to jail. He didn't say Floyd went to jail. He just said after he went through what he went through, and he got a second opportunity, it changed Floyd, and Floyd never turned back. Calvin Ford even talked about, he said, when he went through what he went through, which, he had been in jail for a few years as well when he was younger, and how he got another opportunity and he never looked back. And when he said those things, and he talked about Gervonta Davis kind of going through his situation and getting another opportunity, right? And doing things differently going into 2023. What I took from that was that he was in a roundabout way saying that the hit and run incident where Gervonta Davis fled the scene, that somehow got resolved because Gervonta Davis was supposed to be in court for a two-day trial in December for that hit and run incident. Now, this is the thing, right? I really thought that situation was resolved, and I was saying how I was glad for Gervonta Davis because he dodged a bullet. It's really unfortunate that the incident happened. Now, for those of you who aren't up on your stuff, right? Gervonta Davis was, for that incident, it said that he was driving with a suspended license and intoxicated. Those aren't my words. Go out to the internet and look it up, because you get some trolls that come on here and absolutely ignorant and have no idea about anything, and they just start running off at the beak. Like I call them the seagull trolls. They fly in, squawk about, drop some shit off, and then fly back out. So for all those seagull trolls, get your stuff together. But nevertheless, as a result of Gervonta Davis getting arrested today for the incident down in Miami, the fact that his court date for the traffic incident, man, that we thought was resolved, they come out now and they put that out to the world that he's supposed to be back in court in February. Man, I did not know that. So what happened is they were able to get that two-day trial pushed from December to February so they could have this tune-up fight. Now, what it sounds like to me, they're getting the tune-up fight. He's going to make a bunch of money. He'll go to the two-day trial. He may have to do a couple months in jail. We don't know that. This is just me. Now this is my opinion, okay? The other stuff wasn't my opinion. This is my opinion. He may have to do some time in jail because I just don't see him. And for those of you who've watched my other videos, I apologize. I'm not trying to talk about the stuff I've talked about before. But for those of you who are new to the channel, hey, subscribe and hit that like button, right? Just to catch you new guys up. Gervonta Davis is a female judge. There were some victims in that traffic accident. Several of them were able to kind of settle with Gervonta Davis. Basically, he paid them off. And there was one victim in particular who was a female, and she said that she was pregnant at the time and that the car was smoking after Gervonta Davis, the vehicle he was in, hit the car, right? And she was begging with him for help. She said he looked her right in the eyes when she was screaming for him to help her, and he ran off. And that touched the judge, that touched the courtroom, where the victim was saying she just didn't think him being on a unrestricted house arrest would teach him a lesson so he wouldn't, do these kind of things again. So I'm gonna stop right there. Putting him on unrestricted house arrest, she didn't feel that would be enough to teach him a lesson so he wouldn't do that again. Now you look what happens with him down there in Florida. We don't know all the specifics, but he ends up arrested for making a poor choice again, right? No, that's all. We don't know the whole story, but that's what he was arrested for. So now you look at, now he's got to go back in front of this judge with this same victim who we thought she was just playing hardball to get more money. That's not the case, obviously, if he has to go to court in February. So now you see that judge said that she agreed that a tap on the wrist, unrestricted house arrest wasn't enough punishment. That's what the judge said. That's not enough punishment for him. Man, and she says, we'll have a 2-day trial. She kind of had an idea of the direction things were going, but we'll just have a 2-day trial. It shouldn't take longer than 2 days. I said, goddamn. When the judge said that, it shouldn't take longer than 2 days, I said, it's over. Gervonta Davis is out of here. He's going to the joint. When you have a judge sympathizing with the victim, which, hey, what happened was wrong. Doesn't matter if you like Gervonta Davis or not. And, I'm always in the building champions, not breaking them down, man. It bothers me to know that, those victims went through what they went through, that Gervonta Davis. It's a lot of things we did when we were young, man. It's just unfortunate for him. He seems to be getting caught because he's just out there in front of the world because everyone knows who he is. But there's a lot of things that we did too when we were younger. For those of you who aren't, 19, 20, 24, 25, let's be real. If you got a little gray in your hair, you did some stupid shit too. Maybe not on that level, but we did some dumb stuff. Some of us may have done worse, just never got caught. So I'm not judging him. But me judging him, that's the least of his worries, because you got you got someone who's sitting there in their big chair with their gavel, a real judge who's looking to stick it to him. And I just feel, I can't help but, I just feel bad for him, you know what I'm saying? Because the fact that he has all this crap going on from today, that's not going to help his situation, man. But for those of you who are not up on it, get out there and Google it and see what happened with Gervonta Davis and that traffic incident where he was involved in a car crash where he fled the scene, left a Rolls Royce SUV out there. I think it was an SUV. And he was driving on a suspended license, and he was intoxicated. Those aren't my words. That's what's in every story that was written about Gervonta Davis. So we'll see what happens, but it's just not looking good for him. And I'm not even talking about the domestic battery issue and the stuff going on down in Broward County, down in South Florida. I'm talking about the crap that he has to go back to D.C. or Baltimore for, and the stuff he has to deal with that's stemming from that, hit and run, or that fleeing the scene incident where he crashed into that other vehicle with several occupants. That is a problem, man. That's just bad news, man. I really feel bad just for everybody involved, because damn, I thought he had dodged that bullet, was able to get a second chance, but I'm telling you, they're about to give it to him. And it's not looking good. So those of you out there, don't question me. Do your due diligence if you want to fact check me, and go out there and see what you find. But I'm telling you right now, it is not looking good for Gervonta Davis. I'm going to leave it as that. More to come. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.